Okay, so gonna resume from where we left off last time with the Long Dark on Interloper. Um, Last we left off, we were in the farmstead in Pleasant Valley,
Need water.
and our character is immediately going to complain about their level of thirst, so we're going to drink some water. We're going to gather our stuff, and we're going to head out. We're going to leave the big jerry can of fuel down here. We're not going to take that with us. It's a bit heavy. Is that a blizzard? Maybe we're not leaving. Maybe we're going to be stuck here for a little while because I don't know if it's going to be the best idea to leave in a blizzard. Yeah, we'll leave the jerry can here, but we'll take the fuels. The jerry can will stay here. I'm going to take some coal. Let's check, see if that's a blizzard. It is a blizzard. I might make some water. No, it's just windy. Okay, I can work with wind. Wind we can work with. In fact, wind we can do some inventory stuff before we leave. So we've got 5 kilograms of carrying capacity. We'll take both, so it'll be fine. We'll want the light in as we go along anyway. Okay, so it looks like the thing I'm short on and like more of is water. And if we don't need to stop, or if we don't need to delay, I don't want to make water. We can make water when we get there, or when we need to stop to warm up. So I'm gonna take a bunch of my sticks here. How much coal do we have? I don't know how much coal we have. I've got, what do I got in the inventory? As coal goes. Get the right tab of 4. Go up to 8. We'll leave, we'll just take all the coal then. We'll take all the coal. I don't want to pick up all the sticks, because we can pick some up anyway. So we'll start heading out now. So I think the grand plan right now in here is head up towards the gold mine. Whether or not that will finish in this video, or I'll have to move, be between this video and the next video, because that will take a little while to get up there. Right, we might not make it to the gold mine in an hour. I'm at least going to stream at least for an hour before I stop. I might stream longer depending on how I feel after the first hour. Also depending upon where we make it at the end of the first hour. So we're going to head up to the gold mine. I think I'm going to go via the crash site. The plane crash site. Which we might find closed there. That might be an improvement. We probably won't, but it's worth checking. And we're going to check because we can. Yeah, let's take the river. We might find some more food on the river. No, not there. Again, when you're looking for these cattails along on the thing, I think I've said it in previous ones. If you're desperate for cattails and really want to know where they are from a distance, so you can turn the excess foliage off, which will kind of make the cattails stick out like a sore thumb. I try not to do that unless I've lost arrows, because I feel it's a little gamey. And we're probably going to take some condition damage from cold. Trying to get to the next place we can warm up. So I'm actually going to burn fatigue and calories to go faster to try to save on condition damage. We do now have a can opener, so I can open all the canned food, so I'm not too worried about the food. So now I'm just worried about accumulating too much condition damage on the way up.
Never felt so cold in my life.
And the thing that's going to do a lot of damage right now is getting gnawed by wildlife or condition damage. So, The main thing I'm worried about is getting in a scenario where I take too much damage from cold, but I don't have enough to get mauled by an animal safely, which is why I'm sort of sprinting here. Because I'm not actually all that worried about the wolves. I'm usually pretty good at getting past them without getting mauled. But if occasionally I do get jumped, and when you get jumped, you lose like 50% condition pretty reliably. So that means I need 50% condition to safely get jumped, right? So we want to stay at that 50% condition, ideally. I'm not going to harvest that food, because we're taking condition damage and it'll take a while to harvest. I'm not stopping to warm up here. Not because it wouldn't necessarily be a good idea. Could probably stop here to warm up, but because I know there's a cave at the top of the climb we're about to go up. And if I want to conserve matches and fuel, I should be able to stop in that cave to warm up. There also should be a deer carcass up there. Usually there's a deer carcass up there. So I might also warm up by harvesting that deer carcass instead. So as I can make water while I'm doing that as well. Probably taking as much... Well, I froze as quickly as I did, probably because it's early morning. Had I waited till later in the day, I might have been able to get away without taking as much cold damage. Which is why I didn't have a problem necessarily if there was a blizzard. Stopping to make water and try to wait out the blizzard.
Mouth so dry.
To avoid taking the condition damage, I'm going to just drink a tea cold, because I don't want to take the condition damage from the dehydration and the cold at the same time. Especially as we're just about to get to a place where we're going to try warming up. So this cave here could probably, yep, there we are. Should be warm. So if we wanted to try conserving fire, we could try lighting the fire in here. I'm gonna pass a couple minutes in here to warm up, hopefully. Hopefully. How warm? Oh, we are barely warm, so that's not gonna work. Okay. Well then we'll go ahead and go with the fire approach. I'm not gonna start in here. I know there should be a carcass. There's usually a carcass, and there is right here.
Cold.
So we'll harvest that carcass. Should go reasonably well. I'll toss 2 things of coal in there to get the fire nice and hot.
Come on, come on.
And then we'll make water and harvest that carcass with the meat value. Because it is a pre-existing carcass, it will probably not have very much meat on it. Yeah, 1 kilogram of meat. Oh, I've taken way too many cans. I thought I had a pot. I must have left the pot behind. Oh dear. Yeah, we'll make an hour with it. So as you can see, we're rapidly warming up next to this fire. That should stop the condition loss for a while. Meat on the fire, you'll be ready in about an hour, so that should give us enough time to get the guts off. I do want the carcass to defrost enough that I can harvest it by hand. Harvest the hide by hand. With that, we have water. I'm gonna make more water. How long is that? An hour and a half. Okay, so could do it with that. Can't do it with that. Are you defrosted enough for hand? Yeah, you're defrosted enough for hand. So we'll go ahead and get the hide off. Get the hide off. There we go. So we got everything off the deer. We got more water. You'll be available in a moment. We're gonna move this back to the cave, where it will start curing. Pick it up on the way back down. You can tell this is where it goes because we're warming up here, though probably as before, probably not really warming up. I want the hide. There we go. Drop the hide. How much do we have in this fire? About an hour and a half. I might use that to make some more water and harvest that limb, because the limb may respawn in the future if we do that. Yeah, I must have left the pot behind because I don't have the pot with me. I will leave a can here, I just won't put any water in it. Because I've realized I've also got too many cans on me, I don't need this many cans. What do we want to do?
If I can drop any of this gear.
How overweight are we? That overweight. Oh, we're getting a bit tired. That's not helping either. You want to keep this fire going? I do kind of want to keep this fire going. So we're going to toss a bit of fur on the fire. Give it a bunch of time so that it'll still be here when I come back. I'll drop the fuel off here because we don't actually need to take this fuel with us. Oh, and before I wander too far off, because we've gathered a bunch of water, let's harvest all that water. Or let's drink all that water so we're hydrated and it's not counting against our carrying capacity. So here's a bunch of maple we could harvest. I'm not going to worry about harvesting the maple right now. What I'm going to try doing is I'm going to go try quickly running through the crash site to get any useful clothes out of the crash. Because we're on Interloper, anything useful here will be clothes. There might be the occasional drink. On lower difficulties, you can get airplane food. And I suppose the occasional corpse might have matches, which would be the other thing we'd be interested in here. Some worn jeans, those aren't worth anything. We'll go ahead and abandon that in the cave. But that's basically what we're going to do with everything that isn't immediately useful, is we're just going to leave it behind in the cave. Because the cave is a frequent stopover spot for me. When I'm moving back and forth between various zones, that's a cave I will stop at. It's sort of a waypoint to check to make sure that everything's still going fine. Yeah, we're taking the slow and steady approach. We are planning to go up the gold mine. This is one of our way over searching spots on the way up there. Because I took the meat off of that carcass, it won't be there. The carcass won't be there later. On lower difficulties, I might intentionally leave that carcass there because it's an inconvenient place to gather feathers from. Though a lot of these human corpses are also reasonably convenient as well, so it's not the end of the world if you want the food or if you want the mats off of it. But that was the other reason I took the time to harvest the mats. is the meat was too meager to be worth it just harvesting it for the meat. And it will disappear relatively quickly, taking the mats with it if you look at it and don't harvest the mat socket. So we took the time to harvest the mats as well. As I said, we're basically not really going to find any food here. You do find the occasional on Interloper, the occasional soda. So we found a soda. And probably for us, the most valuable thing we're going to find here is that soda. But we're checking because we can find other things here. It's just not a high probability. Partially because we've already got good loot, right? The better your loot that you already have, the harder it is to find stuff that's better than it. Okay, nothing there, nothing there. You have a guy, you can check there. You probably have nothing. We could, if we were particularly desperate to recover fatigue, sleep in the cave, what we just checked recently. I'm gonna go ahead and move up after we deposit everything we looted here. It isn't worth taking with us, which is most of what we found. I'm gonna head up to the secret cache. The cache will most likely be empty, but we can sleep in the cache. Very safely. So we're probably going to sleep in the cache. Which was one of the reasons I took the time to warm up at the campfire and make water. Mainly to make water is if we're sleeping in an indoor location, we probably won't start a fire, and this won't have a way to make water, and we need some water. So that fire's still going. We will harvest the torches off of it before we head off. But we should have enough fatigue to safely make it up to the cache. Carrying a torch. The worst thing I can run into is the bear. Wolves, as long as you have a torch up, are usually pretty safe to walk past. If you know what you're doing. We don't really need to care that I gather those, but we gather those. And then what the clothes I don't want is this tab. So yeah, we've already had jeans. The jeans aren't improvements. That's my expectation. Yeah, they're not improvements. What we can get is we can get 2 2s. So basically anything worse than the combat pants we're not interested in anymore for jeans. Thin wool sweater is actually technically an upgrade there. I mean, it could get better than what it is, so I will keep the plaid shirt for the moment, but it's not going to be an upgrade. We can drop the hat. The shoe is an upgrade. No, they're really not an upgrade. Maybe if you wanted more sprinting, but we're moving more and more towards not wanting to sprint and take our time getting to places. Oh, and I have way more medical supplies. So I'm going to go ahead and abandon some medical supplies here. Because again, this is a place I frequently stop by, going back and forth. We'll keep the lower quality medical supplies. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and we're off. I'm going to go ahead and I don't need as many cans. I'm just going to leave cans here in case I need them later. Something comes up. I frequently screw up and leave things like pots behind, so carrying spare cans is, whether bad from a weight perspective, leaving them all over the place is a good way to make sure that they're there when you need them. We can harvest 4 torches from this fire before we go, And if we wanted to, we could throw more sticks in it to get more torches out of it, but we're just going to take the 4 torches and call it good. The 4 torches should be enough to get to where we're going next.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
What's the feel like temperature right now? -3? Okay, so we shouldn't take any more cold damage today. We should be able to get to the rest spot. So, next spot's gonna be the Prepper's Cache, the secret special Prepper's Cache, near the transition rope up into Dimple Mountain. To do that rope, we do need to be within carrying capacity. So one thing we will need to do is we will need to either lighten enough that we can climb,
I'm gonna need to eat
or
some.
rest enough that our carrying capacity rises to the point where we can climb. Right now it'll probably have to be resting, so I don't think I can get light enough to just go up in the current state. Which is a bit of a shame. It means I will have to accept that this match that I just burnt to start this fire is going to go. We are a bit short on ignition, so that is a bit sad. The one item that we're really looking for, besides the backpack that will be up the gold mine, is the lantern. That way, when we need light, we don't need to light a torch. We can light the lantern. Because the lantern basically has infinite lights. It just uses fuel oil instead, which you can get renewably by artisan fish. Which is much more renewable than the matches. This is bright enough weather, we'd probably be able to start a fire with the lens, magnifying lens. But we don't need to start a fire right now, so we don't need to even try. If you're trying to very quickly get fire starting 5, and you're not in a rush to get someplace, this might be really good weather just to crack out a lot of fires. This building right here is sometimes a decent spot for hunting bear. There's a bear cave down that way, and if it wanders up here, you can try to shoot it from there. Because I don't believe that the bear can come up in there to get you. Though I haven't tried it recently, I could definitely be wrong. Who knows if they've updated the bear pathing.
Something's gotta go.
And the reason that is because it's supposed to act like it's a hunter blind, and in hunter blind you're supposed to be able to hide yourself, so there's supposed to be like drapes or stuff that you can lower to obscure your position so the animals don't know you're there. Just obviously there's no way to deploy them in-game. And a lot of scenarios where it's like, oh, the thing should do this, the game will be nice and preset it up so that it auto does it. When it's not an easy way to toggle it on or off. I'm sort of daisy changing torches here, because we can get into a situation where there's wolves and we need to scare them off. It doesn't look like there'll be any wolves, because we're reaching the last little bit, which is actually the part where the wolves usually are. The wolves are usually, if we're going to run into them, they're going to be right in front of us right here. So I may just intentionally put this torch out. Or actually, I'll probably keep the torch burning until we are in the secret cache. the purpose cache, so I can use it to look around a bit. But then we'll probably put the torch out, and we'll take the long rest to recover condition, and recover the fatigue, so we can climb the rope. If we don't find a lantern in the purpose cache, another place we'll probably find it is the abandoned
Think about is food.
the abandoned hut up by the lake in Timberwolf Mountain. In there. Can be fuel. Yeah, there's fuel there. I needed fuel. Don't need fuel though. Nothing in the backpack. So if you haven't seen the earlier parts should be coming up on YouTube. I believe they're also in the Twitch VOD history
I need to
for at least a
drop
couple more
something.
days. If you're watching this on Twitch later, they might not be up on the Twitch VOD anymore, and they'll be up on YouTube. I set them up so they should show up on YouTube before they're completely gone on Twitch.
What have we here?
So we're gonna let this torch burn out. While I try to maximize what I can see with it. There it goes. Yeah, there was not a lantern in here. There's a metal lamp, which we could if we were desperate for scrap metal, harvest for the scrap metal. I also didn't see any matches with the torch burnt out. Okay. So we are going to take a long rest here if I can get the thing, or get the bedroll set up, which we can. I'm going to take a quick short break. I need to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'll have to figure out a way of merging the two YouTube videos.